I'm Vince, also known as PleasantKenobi on the internet, the Magic the Gathering content and creating an equivalent of dragging people from all across the world to play Eternal formats with me, because if Wizards of the Coast won't fucking support them, we will. Today I'm joined by my very special guest, Dougs on Twitch. Is it Dougs or Dougs? I've asked you this a million times. It's Dougs, right?
That's cool, man. Dougs is sweet. Dougs on Twitch.
It is Dougs.
It is Dougs.
Oh my god, I thought I had it. I'm so fucking bad. I'm sorry.
Cool.
Okay,
Cool.
Well, I could cut this, but we'll just soldier on, right? We'll fix it in post. Today we're going to play some 7-Point Highlander, also known as Australian Highlander. I have played 3 videos of this format, I believe, on the channel before. I will link those in the description. They'll be in the cards and so on. So, Dougs, not Dougs. Fucking hell. Dougs, if you could explain to the people at home, A, who are you? B, where can they find you? And then C, and most importantly, what we are playing today in a nutshell.
My name is Dougal. You might know me as Dougs on Twitch. I stream as Dougs on Twitch. I own a website called The Green Sun Zenith, which is dedicated to the Legacy Maverick archetype. And yeah, from Australia, we have a really good Eternal scene. And part of that Eternal scene is playing a format called Australian 7-Point Highlander. Which is a Singleton format, 60 cards with a 15-card sideboard. And instead of having sort of a banned and restricted list, we have a point system. So each deck can have up to 7 points. And cards that are a little bit too powerful are pointed. So you could have a 3-point card like Mox Pearl and a 4-point card like Time Walk, and that's your 7. You could also have 7 1-pointed cards like Jide, Skull Clamp, Snapcaster, Jason Mind Sculptor, Green Sun Zenith. There's a bunch. It's really cool. It leads to a lot of really cool kind of deck building elements to the format. There's a few archetypes that are quite established, but because of the point system and the format, there's just so much room to grow. And it's really cool going to tournaments because you're always going to play against new decks. You're going to like have people who have been like, kind of playing around the point system and what they can put in, what they can't, which is really cool. There's also a committee in Australia that looks at play and also looks at the point system pretty often. And if anything is overpowered or taking up too much of the metagame, there are changes made, which are based on sort of player feedback, which is fantastic because it's kind of a format made by players for players. And it's just, really enjoyable and great for cross-continent content.
So if you love... So the important point about it is Highlander. For those that don't know what that is, it means it's Singleton. So no card can be more than one of, except for the 5 basic lands. If you are tired of bans, and I know I fucking am, if you are sick and tired of bans just wrecking everything, or the need for bans, shall we say, because obviously Magic is being pushed in terms of power level, then pointed games like this and other Highlander variants are pretty good because they give you... your deck's not going to get banned out or cards are going to be unplayable overnight. There will be points changes that might mean you need to change things up. This is similar to, if you're familiar with Highlander, it's similar. However, there are differences. It's a 75-card deck, so 60-card main deck and 15-card sideboard. So what Australian Highlander brings to the table in terms of unique gameplay experience is that you get to do sideboarding, which means you can bring like unique silver bullets. I actually think my sideboard today is really bad, but we'll come to that more in a moment. This is why I like this. I like Highlander and Commander, is these are Eternal formats where you don't need play sets of very expensive cards. To be fair, if you're going to play this with your friends or locally or try and get your local store to get into the Highlander variant like this, then you can probably talk to them about proxy options as well. I'm not going to go too much into that, but these formats tend to be relatively proxy friendly, which in an increasing world of expensive staples and lack of reprints of actual fucking viable staples like fetch lands, that might be helpful for many people. And it also means that you don't need multiple jewels, or in the case of the deck I'm playing today, no jewel lands at all. So, with that out of the way, also, a fun fact, I was like, you know what, I'm going to play like blue-white control today. And then I was like, I can't have Visions and Time Walk because they're both 4 points. So I was like, fuck it. I'm just going to play Strip Mine, Jit. I'm going to play D&T. I'm playing D&T. So for those at home who are curious, this is my deck list on screen now. I'm playing 7-Point D&T. Fun fact is that I kind of put the list together out of memory, looking at the points, just control Fing all the cards I thought would be pointed, and got to there. Then I looked at another Highlander deck, and I was like, oh, I've missed Caracas. Of course I have. Why am I not playing Caracas? That's so stupid. And I added it, and then we got into this call, and Dougs was like, Vince, you've got 8 points. This is why I let him check it, because I didn't want to cheat. Because Caracas is pointed, and I'd completely missed that, because it was the last change I made at like quarter to midnight last night. So I'm playing 7-Point Death and Taxes. Dougs, what are you playing today?
So I'm playing an archetype called Blue Moon, which a few modern players might know of.
Mm-hmm.
So Blue Moon is a blue-red deck. It's based around Blood Moon, Megas the Moon, and Back to Basics. It's a fairly control-y deck. It is interestingly positioned. It's obviously quite hard to play it well if everyone knows you're on it, because they can play around cards like Blood Moon and Back to Basics pretty well.
Yeah, of course.
And if you don't have those kind of strangleholds on the game, then you're kind of just one of the worst control decks of the format.
Right.
But I really like it, and one of the main reasons I like it is that I have a few copies of Mark Poole's kind of pink purple islands from I think Beta. Yeah. Which are really nice, and it's very hard to find a reason these days to play a competitive tournament without snowlands, and this is a great tournament for it. So
good. So I love that, because I am sick and fucking tired of seeing snowlands. I don't like no disrespect to Tyson and his like snowland arts and stuff; they're wonderful, but I just want to see the varied, like, you know, history of fucking lands that we've had in Magic, and everyone's just playing snowlands. It's so frustrating. I did consider playing either mono red, because I noticed looking back at all my Highlander content, I've not really played red decks much. So I was like, oh, I'm going to play like 7-point Highlander Burn today, or maybe Goblins. I'm on a bit of a Muxus trip at the moment. But then when I saw you playing Blue Moon, I was like, it's unfair if I just rocked up with a deck with like 25 mountains in it. So, not 25, 22 mountains or whatever. So I actually opted not to play a mono red deck, so it didn't seem like I was just metagaming you, so that your Blood Moon can actually do some work.
That's fine. Goblins is actually a really good deck.
It's just got so many new toys as well, right? Like, obviously it was probably pretty good before, but with Muxus and Snoop and a few other like recent additions to the Goblin lineup, like the deck seems to be across all formats just getting so many toys. It's crazy.
Yeah, definitely. I think the only downside of Goblins for players wanting to enter the format is that it's just so good with Moxen. Right. And it's just so different without them.
Yeah. So that's a point I've playfully teased my audience by saying, oh, there's no dual lands in the deck I'm playing today. I am playing a Mox Pearl. So that kind of pushes what is the price of this deck with that on paper? Let's have a look. So online, this deck is $122, and online's a good place to play this. In paper, it's $3,229 American dollars, which is pretty absurd. And that is all $2.6 grand of that is in the Mox Pearl. But look, just fucking proxy it. Like, that's what, I mean, as long as you're taught stories, okay. I don't mean like buy a Chinese counterfeit and use that. Don't do that. But talk to your store owners and talk to your friends and talk to your tournament organisers. Find out what the proxy rules are, and then work within the rules of your local metagame. With that out of the way, let's play some Highlander.
Nice. That sounds awesome.
I have won the die roll, and I'm going to go first.
Okay, cool.
And I have 7 cards in my hand, and some of these are pretty good. I'm going to keep this.
I'm going to mulligan this. Unfortunately, I do not have a land.
Oof, no land at all.
This hand's pretty good. I'm going to keep this. The bottom's going to be interesting. I think it's going to be this card. Nice.
So my hand's good, but frustratingly, it's not good enough for me to utilise this Mox Pearl start. So I'm happy to have a Mox Pearl in my hand, but it's not going to do a whole lot.
Is it Mox Pearl Pass?
No. That would be awful. That would be awful. So yeah, my hand is just like Mishra's Factory and a Pearl, and then pass the turn.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
Yeah, like I don't have a 2-drop, unfortunately.
Thank you, Mark Poole.
There it is.
I'm going to preordain first. And I'm going to go bottom, top, draw,
bottom
and pass.
Top. Okay, so you have lands this time round. That's something.
I do.
I'm going to go with a... Just going to slam a beta.
Mirren's nice.
Yep. One of my favourite cards of all
card.
time. Yeah, I think people undervalue
100%.
it.
Yes.
Like, look at how it's been in Legacy for like years and years, right? Like, it can't be O-code right now, but for the longest time, like in the Leovold decks, it was just like an unstoppable force as well because nothing could block it. Like,
I loved it when your opponent had like the 3 Baleful Strixes in play and you're just hitting them before a turn.
Yep. Or you Violet in on the end step and they've got 2 like untapped Baleful Strixes and they're like, oh no, because you've got a sword in play and you untap and equip and they're like, oh no.
Is it 12? It's 12.
It's 12, yeah. It's 8 and kill both the birds for security, like one of the two. Or like murder their planeswalker as well, that sort of stuff. It's great.
Yeah.
So, I guess I'm going to go to combat and attack. I don't think a Ambush Viper Snappy is going to cause me any problems.
Played around it, damn it.
Yeah, unfortunately so, my friend. And then we're going to go... So it is open decklist, but I'm not going to consult your decklist while we're playing at the moment. So I'm just going to play this.
Vial. Yeah, Vial's okay.
Spoilers, I just drew that. As you might be able to tell from the point where I played it. And then I guess I'm going to pass the turn.
In your end step, I'm going to cycle this miscalculation.
Sweet. This is what I love, is seeing, like, miscalc is a cube staple, right? Like, it is in most cubes. But you don't see them in constructive magic much. But when you come to Highlander, where you're having to, like, stress out those slots to find other 2-mana utility counterspells, miscalc sees play, and I love that.
This is interesting.
Interesting good for me, or interesting bad for me?
Interesting in both ways. I have a few ways to maybe take that Mox Pearl, which is nice because it would take you off you a second white source.
A Dak Faden?
What?
Or is it an Archmage charm? It's an Archmage charm.
Are you watching me right now?
Well, I'm just thinking about Blue Moon playable cards, right? Why did you steal my Aether Vial that you can flash in one of your... I actually can't remember what was on the list. Like 6 creatures. I'm going to untap, tick up my Aether Vial. And cool. I'm going to go to combat and I'm going to do some more slapping.
Okay.
Cool. And then... Is Archmage... Now we're talking about it. Is Archmage Charm choose 1 or is it choose 2?
Let me just look it up if you can hear my keyboard of me typing. Oh, here we go. On gatherer.com, I think it is. Counter target spell. Target player draws 2 cards. Gain control of target non-land permanent with converted mana cost 1 or less.
And let's choose 1 or is it choose 2?
Choose 1.
Choose 1, yeah. Otherwise it would be like probably better than Cryptic. Only choose 1.
It'll be insane. Take your 2 Death Shadows?
Yeah, that's true. No. I mean, I assume you can't choose the same mode twice. Same with other commands.
That's fair.
But it's not a command, it's a charm, isn't it, actually? Oh no, what am I on about? All charms are choose 1. All commands are choose 2. That's the obvious. Yeah, now I say it. Yeah, that's it. So K command, all that sort of stuff.
I didn't realise that.
Yeah, it's like the overriding the overall rule of that cycle, if that makes sense.
It's interesting.
Yes.
Hmm.
Are you still in my Mox Pearl? Are you still in my Vial?
What do I want to do?
Or are you just drawing 2 cards?
Yeah, this is an interesting one because the white doesn't do too much to me. It's really taking you off double white, but if I also don't deal with the Vial, then it's not as good. It's really a case of pressuring your mana on both axes.
That is true, yeah. So all my double white creatures and stuff can still be vialed in.
Yeah, but I think because it is pretty cool, just taking a piece of power. I'm going to call it the power play.
That does make sense. Also, I do have a double white card in hand, so it was the correct play in that sense. Mounting.
Oh.
Here we go. Here's Dacky Boy.
I'm going to take your Canonist.
Ooh. Nice.
And then just pass back.
I'm going to tick up my Vial.
Such a good card. Even in Highlander, in a deck like this, where you do have a bunch of 2 and 3 drops, you don't really care if it doesn't come down 2 and 1.
Yeah. Yeah, Dak Faden's pretty good. That's an understatement, isn't it? Dak Faden being a vintage staple suggests that he's pretty good.
Interesting. So you're casting this, not putting it in through Vial, so you must have another 2-drop in hand.
Or maybe I'm an idiot.
This is a tough one. Okay. Definitely annoying, seeing that a lot of my removal spells are going to be damage based.
I'm going to attack your face. Leaving a Dak Faden on the board's never been a problem, right?
I think I'm going to block this because I don't know if I have another chance to block it down the line.
Oh, I get to cast another spell this turn.
You do.
Ooh. I probably should have attacked my factory last turn. No, you weren't tapped out. Would you trade a snappy or... I don't know. And then I'm going to second spell. But I'm going to second spell off my vial. Well, unless you stifle it, obviously.
It's going to be pretty good.
I think I should have vialed in... I should have cast... No, actually, no, I shouldn't have. I wanted this to resolve. So I think that was the right way around to do it. Also, thank goodness for them not putting another Dak Faden in War of the Spark, because it's easy to name Dak Faden with your Vaccine Revoker and not fear that you've got it wrong. That might be too soon for some of the Dak Faden stands out there that were very upset by the fact that they didn't get another Dak Faden. Scalding Tarn.
Mountain.
Basic Mountain. If I didn't know any better, I'd think you might be playing Blood Moon in your deck.
I do have access to 6 mana thanks to the Pearl.
Torrential Gearhulk? Chain Lightning. Okay, I'm going to sack this and feel sad about what's happening next.
It's going to electrolyze your Mirren twice.
That does make sense. That was okay. I mean, you never have access to 2 res. It was unlikely that I lost both my bodies. I will tick up my vial. Thank you, vial.
Nice.
This. Okay. Let's animate this. Then go attacking. We'll kill Dak in case, and we'll hit you for 2.
Nice.
And then I don't know if this is correct. I'm going to cast a Skull Clamp. One of my pointed cards.
A mana like that.
Cool. I am 1 short of paying. And then pass the turn.
Alright, here's a question for you. So Archmage's Charm, I can gain control of target non-land permanent. If you go to equip Skull Clamp to your own Phyrexian Revoker, and in response I take control of Skull Clamp, do I then draw the 2 cards?
I would assume you do, yeah, because the text is on the Skull Clamp. It doesn't give the text to the creature, right?
Yeah, cool.
It's a very unusual circumstance. Because there aren't many cards in the game that like steal people's equipment onto your creatures, you know?
Yeah,
Crater Maker. Ooh.
I didn't get the right out Steam Vents. Ugh.
I like the Steam Vents. It's not... I probably like the second one the most.
Okay. Yeah, that's fair.
Which is your favourite, the original?
I think it's the original, yeah.
Yeah,
Just got that,
fair.
like... Yeah, it's just... Can't beat original.
Do I... Do you want to trade? Do you want to blow up my vial? What if there's a flicker wisp in the vial? Oh, who knows?
Yeah, this is an interesting one. I think I don't mind taking you off a mana.
Yeah, that's fair.
I don't have another DAC, which is great. I think I'm okay with a 1-for-1.
Yeah, that's fair.
What's next? That's what's always scary.
Just another body.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Don't worry about the rest of the text. I mean, at this point, it doesn't matter. You've got literally 1 million mana over there.
Oh, that's a sweet card.
Oh no.
But I'm gonna wait.
Is it some sort of fiery character? Do you play Pyroclasm effects in that deck?
I do. So main deck, I run Sweltering Suns because you can cycle it when it isn't relevant. And then the other one, kind of. is Fire Ice.
Right. Okay. Cool. Cool.
And then sideboard, Anger of the Gods is really good because it exiles. And then Fiery Confluence.
Yeah, so one of the downsides of playing the white green deck in pretty much any format is that Electrolyze and Fire are both really brutal. So you had Sprouting Suns and then you drew Fire Ice, so that Sprouting Suns wasn't necessary anymore.
I actually had it in hand, but I wanted to keep it for as long as possible in case I could just cycle it into hopefully a more powerful
That's
card
what I meant,
actually
sorry.
start
So you had
winning.
Sprouting Suns first and you decided to hold it, and then Fire made Sprouting Suns just not necessary anymore?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fair.
This is...
Can the cat go the whole way?
I like the... I think cats are now one of the most banned creature types.
Oh, because of... Speaking of cats,
The
here's a
Cauldron
cat.
Cat.
It's a Cauldron Cat and Felidar Guardian, right? Like, that's two cats.
Yep.
And I mean, Jace is a cool cat, right? I can't believe I just referred to him as a cool cat. Is this the Ambush
Yeah.
Snappy?
It is not.
It's just an Abrade. Cool, okay.
Just the old 1-for-1. Do you have a favorite basic art? Especially for a planes?
I like the original, not original, so the second unset, the unhinged planes.
Yeah, okay,
That's
nice.
my favourite. Do we reckon you have some mana? That's not mana? Do we think you have another counterspell? Let's find out if you've got a Snappy or a counterspell.
Actually, I'm going to use your Mox Pearl just to...
Oof. Okay.
The old Cryptic.
As long as I keep drawing threats, we're all good.
There's a really good, like, colorless kind of like a workshop deck in Highlander.
Right.
And a pretty good...
I did consider playing some... I don't know what your variant is that you're talking about, but like shops or stacks of some kind. But I realised that I played that like the seven, the wheel sevens like artifact deck last time, so I would play something a bit different.
Yeah, that was cool. So you can play like just like a ramp kind of, use Mishra's Factory as one of your points. Sorry, Workshop. So like a turn 1 play can be like Factory, Mana Crypt, Batterskull turn 1, and then turn 2 Phyrexian Metamorph, your Batterskull.
Oh, sick. I fucking love Phyrexian Metamorph.
Great card, especially for Cube.
Yeah. It's one of my favourite commander cards as well. Really versatile. The box top is pretty cool. Looking forward to it.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah,
I think it's Box Topper Metamorph, Box Topper Fire and Ice, and Box Topper Stoneforge are the three that I need in my life.
Speaking of people that I need in my life, Chase the Mind Sculptor.
That's a magic card. Yeah. An elaborate Howling Mine. One-sided. An elaborate one-sided Howling Mine. With elements of Ponder, or you could just call it a Jace Storm, I guess.
Alright, take us away.
That's pretty good for you, considering you've got a Jace. Must be nice. On the upside, my track can't be bounced by the Jace, so that's good. Okay.
End of draw, I'm going to cast Vendilion Click.
That is bad for me.
I'm going to target you.
Yes.
Oof.
Yep. Not great for me. Okay, let's go.
Nice. The start of any great game of Magic is cast Mother of Runes, in my opinion.
Yeah, Basic Planes into Mother Runes is probably my second favourite start to a game of Magic in all of Magic.
Is number 1 Cavern of Souls Mother of Runes?
No, I was going to say Planes into Aether Vial is the de facto
Oh, nice, yeah.
go-to.
Yep.
Preferably with the mum to come in at the end of turn 2 as well. I think that clique might have sealed you the game. That was a very timely clique.
Was pretty nice. Oh, that's actually pretty nice.
Because my plan was to go squat my own Ancient Tomb for the second white.
Oh, that's cool.
Judgment your Jace. Hoping you don't have counter spells. Ponderino. Field of Ruin. Ah. That kills my thing. I don't have a Giver of Runes. I only have a Mother of Runes.
Yeah, Giver of Runes is very cool. How it has some little side pieces. Like Like when I played it in Maverick for a little bit, I could just save a Dried Arbor from Wasteland, which is very cool.
Yeah, and you can
Not something you really think of.
You can stop like a Caracas and a Marit Lage as well, and a 1-JIT activation as well.
Yep,
So
exactly, which is
pretty
very
good.
Cool.
In the words of Napoleon Bonaparte, this is not good. Fuck. Okay, so we play this. Activate this. Attack you.
I do really like Brazen Borrower. I think Brazen Borrower is in that kind of field of like Elvish Reclaimer of just really cool cards that have been printed as of recent that aren't too overpowering.
Yeah, definitely. The fact that its stats and numbers also call back to Clique a little bit is pretty cool.
Yeah.
In some ways, I kind of wish it was legendary. Why'd you laugh? I guess it would have been stupid with Caracas.
Like, yeah, no, definitely. Sorry, I drew a fetch for turn, and then I was like, oh, sweet, that's going to be great for Brainstorm, and then I Brainstorm, and I had just the other 3 fetches in my deck.
Yeah, so Brazen Borrower plus Caracas would probably be too good because of the legendary attraction, but I just really like the idea that it's like a callback to Clique, but it's callback enough, I guess, and the stats and HP and stuff. Go to 5. Definitely. I'm going to die.
We'll see. Oh. Finks, yeah, Finks is great here.
Go to 7.
Finks a big reason why Anger of the Gods is played in Highlander. Cards like Voice Resurgence as well, just really good at punishing decks like mine.
And then I'm going to go to combat and attack.
Oh, wait. Oh, my gosh. Oh, my gosh.
Will Mum seal the deal?
She will. I don't know.
Oh!
Yeah, nice.
I was like, he's got to have a bolt here or something, right?
No.
Oh.
No.
So
Nice. Awesome.
some interesting lines in place there was that I could have obviously used I could go squat myself to use the council on the deck earlier, but then I drew the Revoker, so that's fine. And I got Mental Misstep in hand. I didn't fire it off in the Ponder in case it came down to a singular bolt killing my mum.
Yep, that's fair enough.
So I was like, I'm going to hold on to this misstep, but then I realised that I'm getting clocked so hard that the 2 life is actually hugely relevant. Oh, okay.
Yep, I like that a lot.
That was interesting. I definitely thought
cool.
That was going to be... That was very close. Very close. I've cheated.
Oh.
In my... I'm just going to play the 4... No, I did take out Caracas. In my rush to put the deck together last night at like 8 hours, I added Finks last moment to the main deck, but I'd added it very early to my sideboard. So I now have a Finks in my main deck, as people can see on stream right now, and my sideboard. I will play the 14-card sideboard and just say I don't have a Finks in my sideboard. This happened the first time I played Oslander as well, because it's so easy to accidentally put 1 card in your main that's also in your side.
Against Angus Mackenzie.
Yes, it's that. Yeah. And now I'm wondering if I've done that again. But also, you didn't catch it, so it's also your fault, not just mine. I'm gonna go.
Yeah.
Go out on a woman and say that.
Fair.
Okay. So, sideboarding with D&T against Blue Moon. Interesting. So, do you have a definitive plan? Because obviously D&T is like a known entity, right?
Yeah, it's interesting. So, Blood Moon and Back to Basics both have their advantages if you start on the wrong side of your mana base, but I don't think that those are cards that I can really rely on.
Sure. I mean, I think I'm on, after the Caracas change, I'm on 14 planes. So,
okay, yeah.
Yeah, out of 23 lands, so that's cool. Yeah. Your Blood Moons and such only hit 9 of the lands out of my 23s. That's only hitting, what? 45%? I'm really bad with maths, that might be wrong. I can't believe I registered 2 fucking Finks. God damn it.
And I don't think I need the forces.
Yeah. Yeah. Fun fact, I forgot about Cavern of Souls existing last night, so I don't actually have Cavern in my deck. So maybe the forces well, not negation, but the forces will might still be fine.
Yeah.
Because I have Vial but no Cavern. Because that's what you're thinking, right?
Yeah.
I'm running out of time. I need to cut 2 cards.
Probably Direfleet Daredevil. You probably run like a planes and a sword. Sorry, a swords and a path to exile, but that's about it.
Yes, and there's also... Well, no, I also have Oust, Unexpectedly Absent. And I guess
Kinda
mental
cool.
misstep, but I doubt that's going to be relevant in that circumstance. Dire Fleet, remind me, it doesn't have flash, does it?
Well, I can take your vial with Dak
Yes,
or
yes.
Archmage.
Because I have.
Oh,
This
no.
is why I don't remember, because I have
no.
used it. I have used Dire Fleet in a red-white D&T deck. So in my head, I feel like it's got flash, but it hasn't. What have you done?
I didn't sideboard. Did
Are
I?
you...
I did. All good.
Oh, okay.
We sideboarded. But I am playing 61, so obviously I didn't get there fully.
Well, I've only got a 14-card sideboard because I'm a scrub, so we're
Nice.
all fools.
Well, that actually evens out.
Does it?
Nice. Okay, I'm going to play first. And this hand is spectacular. I'm going to keep it.
My hand's pretty cool too. So what? I was like, do you have Spell Pierce in your hand? But Spell Pierce seems so bad against the majority of my deck.
I should have sided that out.
Oh, so you didn't side it out, but you also don't
No,
have it in your hand.
I'm
Okay. I was going to be so funny if you're like, I should have sided it out and I don't have it in hand either. Okay. No braid, so that's nice. Or do you get me here?
I don't know.
Oh, yes.
Braid just a sweet card.
The power. Okay, so I guess we're going to just blank your Bloodmans if you did keep them in for a weird reason.
Oh, you have different types of planes?
Oh, yes. Not on purpose.
Yes.
It's just happened, you know? I don't think I fire off spells into your counter magic because I have Vial. I'd rather blank your miscalcs and mana leaks and romans and such.
Yeah, that's very true. This is interesting. I think it's just so important that I hit my land drops that I kind of
Have to cycle something. But is it cycling miscalc, for example? If that's the case, that's fine, isn't it? Or are you cycling something else?
That is fine.
Oh, you're icing this. Okay, I'm going to respond by countering your spell with... No, not really.
Give reference. Okay. Oh.
Was that an O at what you drew, or an O at the giver of runes?
A little bit of both.
Right.
Oh, of course. Is that what I want?
The other great thing about Highlander is that the games are rarely dominated by an Oko or an Astrolabe, right? Because there's only one of them in each deck, if you're playing them at all.
Oh, I just shuffled.
Did you not mean to shuffle?
No.
Mistakes were made!
That's fine. We'll adjust. We'll come back. We'll fight.
I managed to name Unmoored Ego with Unmoored Ego 2 streams ago. That was pretty impressive.
Nice. I did like your return to D&T with the Revoker naming Revoker. I've done many times.
I haven't done that in a while. Did I do it in my last CFB? No, I didn't. I don't think I did. Okay. Brimaz is something I haven't resolved in a while. God, look at that stacked cat lad. Yeah, I love it. It's one of my favourite 3-drop. It's my second favourite 3-drop army beta behind Mirren Crusader. Nice. Like Mirren Crusader is almost always better, which is part of the unfortunate world we live in. Am I going to get Anger of the Gods? Well, I've got a Brimaz and a Giver of Runes, so I don't think that actually matters too much.
Unfortunately.
There's another card that I played in Legacy many moons ago, but see less of now.
Spirit's pretty good. I'll go get a discard.
Oh no. I'm going to take up my vial. Oh. Right, I guess let's just see if you got something here. Yep, you're going to get some value. You're going to get some value. I think I had to do it. You've missed the land drop. If you don't have a counter spell, that's awful for you, isn't it? So.
Yeah, definitely. It also just can take a lot of your creatures out of
bolt range. Yeah. Several of your threats are X1s in like both Petty Fairy Lady and Cliquey Group. Wow, names. Yep, those well-known Magic cards. Oh, back in the game. Are we going to see a Kozilek's return? Are we going to see a Fiery Cannonade?
Sadly, not for now.
Okay.
What are you going to see? I think you're going to see a pass, unfortunately.
So no Archmage Charm to steal my vials. That's nice. And then we're going to go to the beatdown step, which is also a common thing in hardcore music. Petty theft.
Petty theft is.
Is giving it protection the right thing to do? Probably, because you'd need a very good... Oh, you might have the 4-mana Storm's Wrath or Comet Storm. Is Comet Storm the other 4-mana one? There's got to be 4-mana Wrath that you're playing in red, I'm assuming.
Yes. But to be fair, if I did, I'd have to draw into another red source specifically.
Yeah, but I think... Yeah, that's fine.
I had Sinkhole, so I wanted you to counter it by giving
magmatic
protection.
Sinkhole, and then you can shoot it
Yeah,
dead.
and then I would have the extra card in the graveyard to cast it. But you pulled the bluff.
I'm like, I'll just play super conservatively, I guess. I didn't animate my Mistress Factory because we're chatting nonsense. I'm an idiot.
This is interesting. And that's a horrible play. I was like, oh, I can gush here to kill the Spirit Labyrinth or try to kill something, but I'm not going to gush when you have Spirit Labyrinth out.
Yeah, gushing with
I guess
Spirit
I get
Labyrinth
to draw
out.
one card?
Yeah, gushing with the Spirit out, and then Magmatic Sinkhole with the Giver untapped could be one of the worst lines I've ever heard. Okay.
You know the Thomas the Tank Engine theme song that's like broken?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like that kind of like...
Have you heard the Biggie Smalls Thomas the Tank Engine crossover as well?
I have, and it's fantastic.
Oh, it's so good.
Ooh.
Come on, motherfucker. Come on, motherfucker. Oh, taken before our time, Thomas was. I mean, wait. Okay, so nothing from you again. So I see a Brazen Borrower in my future. I'm going to say yes to this. Make this. Untap with the Cat Daddy.
Yeah, this is nice. Sadly, I don't have anything.
I'm going to take my Wild of 4. Nothing to see here. Nothing to see here. I'm going to animate this.
Do you play Resto?
Maybe.
Okay.
I'm going to go combat and slap. Making a cat.
I can put this in.
In comes the Borrower as a blocker.
Cast.
So blocker resolves. And then I'm going to go with the true Nombo. The true Nombo. That's right, I'm the Monarch, baby, but I only get to draw... Yep.
Nice.
I'll never forget the first game I got to beat Benjamin Wheeler with after he'd smashed me in 3 games when we were practicing some Candlander, where I had Spirit of the Labyrinth and Gitrog in play, so I was just sacking off my lands and cracking fetches and drawing no extra cards. And he was like, and that was the game I won, and he was kind of livid because he was like, cool combo deck you've got there. And I'm like, yeah, thanks, buddy.
Classic.
Oh, okay. D&T did the work.
Rough.
Okay, so D&T did D&T style things, and that was very fun. But the great thing about Highlander with the Singleton hands, as Dukes just said off camera, is that games tend to be very, very varied. So we're going to play another pre-board game and then one more post-board game. I'm going to take the win. I'm just saying. We should have agreed to do best of 5 at the beginning, but I'm going to take the win. Fine. I'm going to take the win.
Okay.
I've got to hold that there's at least one deck in Magic that I can play relatively well because I'm fucking shit at everything else. Right. So you've got one on the die roll and you've chose to go on the play. Is that correct?
Yes, please.
Cool.
And I will keep this hand.
I will keep this hand as it's pretty hot fire, honestly.
All right.
Island.
So Vince, I've seen during this pandemic, you've been really enjoying Warhammer.
Oh, I'm super fucking into it. It's unreal.
Do you enjoy painting more than playing?
I think it's 50-50, honestly.
Okay, that's awesome.
So I thought I'd come in hating people. By the way, some people love both. Some people are cool with both. There's a small tangent of my viewership who just get a little bit frustrated when I mention Warhammer. So I'm loving the fact they probably watched this and like, he hasn't mentioned Warhammer for over 30 minutes, and you brought it up. I thought I'd come into the hobby hating the painting and modelling. But it turns out that I'm actually okay, or to relatively good at the painting and modelling, and I'm actually really enjoying the expression.
You are very talented, I must say.
I'll take it. I'll be humble and be like, thank you. I thought I was going to be
genuinely very cool.
I thought it was going to be so
because you're like
mad.
the only kind of like non-real life guy that I follow on Instagram, and so your things come up every now and then. I'm like, is this an ad? And I'm like, wait, that's Vince's? That's Vince?
I'm glad. Cool. Yeah, that's really cool. Thank you. So yeah, I thought I was going to start. This is a great first turn. Look at this first turn. I just played, what's that, 5 points of power or 6?
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Is that 5? 4 for Pearl and 1 for...
4.
4 points. 4 points and a Giver
1.
of Runes. Just casually doing that while talking about... Anyway, back to Warhammer. So yeah, I thought that'd be the case. I actually love both. I really enjoy it. I think the hobby's just really good. Like, I don't think it'll ever surpass Magic in my pure love of it, but Magic has also got that place where I've been doing it so much that I'm like, oh, you know what? It is refreshing to play something else.
Yeah, that's really cool to hear.
Are you into it?
When I was a kid, I always wanted to play it. It was just a bit too expensive.
Yeah.
But I played like Dark Angels for a bit.
You say this, but you're a gentleman that plays a Highlander format where these are legal, these mox piles. So
Yeah,
I do.
exactly.
There is an irony in that statement. There is an irony in that statement.
Definitely. I'm talking like when I was like,
Yeah,
maybe,
sure.
like 13, 14.
Yeah, because when I was a kid, I basically got like one starter set and then a load of like whatever I can get cheap on car boot sales and stuff, right? Because I grew up relatively poor for the first part of my life, so I can definitely relate. Never getting the cool toys that everyone else was getting and stuff, and friends around me getting bought like tanks to build, and I'm there with my like half chopped together pre-owned crap that I've got off a boot sale, you know. But so you never got into your Dark Angels though?
Yes, I had like a little like 5 pieces, and I just colored them like Dark Angels because I really like the color combination of like a matte black and then like a green.
Yeah, the Dark Angel green is like a really rich green. It's cool. They're elite troops. Oh, you bounced my clamp. Wow, that makes me a little bit sad. Yeah, they're elite troops have like a bone white armor. That's really cool as well. So I've just done one of my guys in that coloring because I'm like YOLO. I can do what the fuck I want. This is a creative hobby. Fuck you.
That's really cool.
So you bounced my clamp, which makes me a little bit sad, but at the same time, go on. Sorry.
When we were discussing Warhammer in the first turn, I did have a counter for the
really,
campaign, but I just let it slide. Yeah, I was like, I want to talk. That's fine. This is interesting.
In the first turn, so spell pierce is in hand. Oh no. The bane of my fucking existence. God, I hate that card so much.
Yeah, it's crazy to think when True Name came out, I was playing D&T at the time and just really didn't like playing against it. But just how far Legacy has come over the past, like, 5 years.
Yeah.
Of it pretty much not seeing play. This is an interesting one.
I'd rather you left it alone.
I think it's this.
Okay.
It's tough, but the Skull Clamp with Hallowed Spirit Keeper, especially late game, is just so strong.
But I want this to resolve.
Oh, but you have the Fire and Ice.
Yeah, buddy. Right.
Yes.
Right. I think protecting my creatures from dying is more important at this point in time. The Force Navigation was good. I was really hoping it was Spell Pierce. I really was, because then obviously that would have been. But actually, the fact that you slammed True Name after like hinting that you had a counter spell suggested to me that it couldn't have been Pierce actually. So, yeah. I actually just top decked Fire and Ice as well, so that's me moaning about True Name Nemesis. Then the game gave me a tool to like fight. I do still think like True Name Nemesis is frustrating. I don't think it should have been printed. It's not quite the level of Oko frustration that I feel, which is funny, isn't it? When True Name Nemesis was one of the most like hated cards in Eternal formats, and then Oko's like hold my fucking beer, like.
Because I assume True Name in Commander has never been an issue.
No, as far as I understand it, no. Yeah. Like I've never seen someone cast one. It's always been funny when someone casts a True Name Nemesis in Commander. It's just funny, but in Legacy, obviously, it can be a real problem. Like one of the most problematic ones. It's the fact that it's in blue. If it's in any other color, I'd have far less issue with it. I think because it has backup of Force of Will, right? Which other colors don't get. So
should have really attacked there, especially with the sword in play. There's no reason not to attack.
Yeah, I'm gonna.
Other than showing a truce.
I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go equipping.
Yes.
I'm gonna go punching. Chapow, zap. Fire and Ice is hands down. So this is D&T. The reason I fell in love with it is probably the play patterns are great, right? But it's the cards. Eighth of O I love because of D&T, but I've always loved Flicker Wisp and I've always loved Fire and Ice since I saw them for the first time and like play with them for the first time, whether it be Commander or Limited or whatever. So the fact that I get to play with them in a deck, I think that's what really drew me to this, because Fire and Ice is so satisfying. Drawing cards definitely is fun.
I played Green White Hate Bears in Modern, which I know you like saying Green White Death and Taxes, which is
Well-
fine, but I used to play the version that wasn't like flickery with like.
So you're playing
Smiter's
Smiter and
voice.
stuff. Right, in which case I agree with you. I don't know if we've had this conversation
Okay,
before.
cool.
I think Smiter and Liege is the hate bear version, the version that's meant to beat up on Jund and Green Black and stuff, right? Where D&T
Yeah,
is the Vials, Flicker Wisps, that sort of jazz. So that's a different...
Yeah.
Like, they're tangential, but they're like a slightly different archetype.
Yeah. So I was a big fan of like Leon and Arbiter, and then my mate was like, "Oh, you should play Death and Taxes in Legacy," and I was like, "Oh, sweet." So I played D&T, but my first deck that I built had Arbiter in it alongside Stoneforge without even noticing.
So
the
you were a
no-go.
trailblazer for the current modern decks then, right?
Yeah.
Oh, thank fuck that can't steal my sword.
Okay.
One time no dag. Even if you steal the sword though, to be fair, you can't equip it this turn, so that'd be okay. That doesn't mean that when I hit you, you can zap me. That's pretty funny. Electrolyze my mother. My giver, sorry. It being a giver being very relevant. I guess you might play a mountain here and zap some things, so I'm going to give this protection from red.
Nice. You also have the canister out, so I can't.
Oh, of course. Wow, okay.
Yeah.
There's me being all like big brain plays, but they're just not. They're not the big brain play. That's hilarious.
And I think just make sure you can't attack with the canister as well. I have to
Yeah,
keep
the clock
bringing
would
it
be ridiculous, wouldn't it? Let's go to punching.
back. So, back to Warhammer.
Yes.
So once you buy a kit, you have like, you know, like a little squad.
Mm-hmm.
What's sort of the process of painting? Like, do you do like one coat and then let it like...
So there's like
let it
the great thing
dry?
about Citadel, like the company that make the paints they're basically part of Games Workshop, but the Citadel paint scheme is a scheme. Let me just do my turn. Actually, I'm going to pause there so I can say this. So it's a system. So they actually have tutorials, both written and on their YouTube channel, which says this is the methodology you should go through. And once you start using that, that's kind of like, have you ever heard of fundamentals in art?
Yes.
Yeah. So to explain to people at home, a fundamentals is like you practice the base levels and the simple things of like how to, I don't know, blend colors and stuff like that. So the fundamentals in miniature painting, the very very fundamentals are you base coat, you undercoat. I'm using the correct term. You like spray coat normally with a rattle can of white or black or whatever the color you're using. Red in the case of my Blood Angels. So that'll base coat the model. And then you block out all the big areas. So blacks, whites, and then like any other big colour you use a lot of. So if you've got a lot of gold, filigree, like gold, for example. And then once you've got that, which is your model with your base coat and that on it, that's when you start doing, you can pick a wash on. So like you can just take a paint that's relatively transparent and you just lather it over things like Angrax, Earthshade. You slap it all over the darker parts of the model and it gives it shadows. And then you go in and you do details and then you finish off by highlighting. So that's like the methodology you go through.
Okay.
Obviously, some people do things differently,
really cool.
and there's a lot of really good YouTubers out there. Squidmar, for example, Miniac, who do great painting tutorials and great things to like inspire you. Midwinter Minis is also not necessarily as good a painter as those, but his tutorials are still really good. So there's a lot. I basically watched like 10 hours of YouTube before I painted my first model, like whilst waiting for them to arrive during lockdown. So that was nice.
Very cool.
Okay, I have a strategic choice to make here. You missed the land drop, so taxing your mana is good. But making your blockers tapped probably wins me the game. So I think this is the choice.
Nice. A braid, one time. Come on, deck. We got this. We got this.
Don't abrade me, bro. A braid would actually still have you dead, right? Because I could swing out.
Yes.
You need a braid plus a mountain and another burn spell. Oh no, because with cannons you can do that. You can braid my Fire and Ice, I untap, and then you bolt with my bodies, and then I'm stuck not being able to kill you. Misstep?
Yeah, nice. That's game.
I had early on. I was like, I hope he's not spell pierce. It's because I had misstep in hand like the entire game, and I was like, come on, spell pierce my sword. Come on.
That's cool.
Right, let's do one more in post board. I was very lucky that game for people watching at home as well. Like when he played the Trina Nemesis and I got all salty and I just topped it the Fire and Ice. That was a very humbling moment when I'm like, why am I such a little bitch, you know?
No, it's good. I think that's exactly what makes Magic so good. Is
Yeah.
The variance.
Yeah, exactly. Any even shit players like myself can beat better players, right? That's what you meant. That's what you meant.
Not at all. Not at all.
I'm gonna
at all.
cut.
Spell pierce. It's coming out. Missed you the first time, not the second.
What did I cut before? I can't even remember.
Do you play Recruiter?
I should. Yeah, I am. Yeah. Is that because you're looking at Stifle or something?
No. I was looking at Ashiok, but I don't think it's worth it. You probably run Recruiter and Stoneforge.
So there's Recruiter, Stoneforge, and there's Steel Shipper's Gift, but I've just cut it.
Oh, cool.
And arguably Flagstones. Interestingly, I was going to play Resto, and I planned to play Resto, and now I'm looking at my list, and there's no Resto. So, my Finks, I think what I would do if I was going to actually sort this out to be playable is take the Finks from my main to my sideboard, where the other slot that I'm not using is, and then put a Resto in the main
Was
board.
this the cheat Finks?
Yeah, yes, there's a Finks main and a Finks side. So the real Finks go to the side, to that 15th slot that I'm not using now, and then put the Resto in. I think is what I'd do. If I wasn't I wasn't so incapable of just like, I don't know, maybe I've got a condition, like just incapable of putting lists together without fucking them up. The amount of like game losses and shit I've got at like genuine events as well. Like, I've registered Sarah Angel instead of Sarah Avenger at like a Legacy GPT. And the judge gave me the benefit of the doubt going, I'm assuming that you're not trying to game us by trying to register a strictly worse Magic card. I also once registered, I used to call Master of the Wild Hunt, Master of the Wild Cunt. And then because of that, I then registered, when I was trying not to swear on the deck sheet, trying to remember its actual name, I then, Shaman of the Wild Hunt, I then registered as Master of the Wild Hunt, which is a card that wasn't even in standard at the time. So yeah, I'm good at this.
Nice. Vince, I have a trump. I got a game loss on a round 1 buy of a GP.
Wow. Did you deck check on a buy?
I deck checked myself, and so I was shuffling my deck around, and I was like counting it, and I counted 57 cards.
Right.
I was like, oh god, I'm missing something here.
So you reported it immediately, right? Yeah.
Yeah. Got my deck list back, and it was 61 cards on the deck list. It was a playset of Blade Splices. It was modern D&T.
Right.
And so I had to tell them, and they're like, yeah, this is going to be a game loss. So then at the start of round 2,
fucking hilarious.
I had to give up my game 1. And the guy's like, what?
That's amazing. Oh, okay, yeah, so they gave it to the next player as opposed to sticking it in the buy. That makes sense. This hand is not keepable, I don't think. So at GP Bologna, the first, not the legacy one, the modern one that was a few years ago. This isn't good either, but I'm going to give it a shot. That's my first bad hand. That's probably why I'm winning all the games, because my hands have been pretty good. But not player skill, just me having generally like nutty hands. I have Mox Pearl like 2 out of 4 games so far. Have you noticed? It's been pretty good. So this is GP. We're in round 3, and I'm currently 2-0, I think. And I did not draw the Mox Pearl, unfortunately. And I win game 1 against my opponent with some ludicrous stuff happens, where my opponent is French, and I'm playing like Italian and Arbiters, and I cast one, and I ask him clear as day, do you understand what this card does? Do you want me to get you a Gatherer? And he says, no, in his French accent, no, I know it. And he's playing like a top tier, like Titan Breach or whatever, so I assumed he would. Anyway, we get to turn 6, he floats 2 mana, no, he gets to turn 4, sorry. No, is it turn 6? Turn 6, he cast Explore, then he cast Escape Shift, essentially. That was like the sequence. Okay. And that results in him sacking all his lands to Shapeshift with no mana floating, and then just not being able to search. And there's people watching the game who knew me from home, and they were like behind him, started laughing, had to move away, because obviously them laughing could give away information.
Away what's happening.
But they were laughing at the fact that the guy didn't know what Arbiter did, obviously, even though he said it did. So that was fine.
Yeah.
These things happen. I'm going to just blind play this and see what happens first before I finish the story.
Nice. Yeah. I'm
going to name Dak. Faden, that one. Anyway, so game 2.
That's,
that is game 2. Sorry, that is game 2 because game 1 I lost. This is part of the story because I looked at my deck. What did I search with? I think it. Did I search? What happened? Oh fucking! Now I'm gonna die. Because I had Obstinate Baloth. Oh, that's it. I drew an Obstinate. Not an Obstinate Baloth. I drew a. No, it was because I was playing Green Boy. I drew an Obstinate Baloth in game 1. Told the judge, got the game loss.
Okay, because it should be a sideboard card.
Yeah, because that was a sideboard card from the last game where I was playing against Jund. Then I won thanks to the Arbiter, and I was kicking myself. I was really angry at myself. I was like, now I'm 1-1 when I could have. Like, game 1 against Shift, I felt really, really favoured being an Arbiter deck, right? And then we're in game 3. And my opponent, I play an I've really fucked the story up. If anyone watching at home, I'm so sorry. I must sound like an absolute madman. So game 1, I get a game loss. Game 2, I play the Arbiter, doesn't know what it does and loses. Game 3, I play an Arbiter, I ask, do you know what it does? And he laughs, chuckles, and quite friendly says yes. I play a second one, and I say, do you know what it does? And he's like, yes, yes, yes. I play a third, and he says, yes, yes, yes. He attempts to escape shift with two floating mana, pays for one of the Arbiters. I say, sure. He goes to pick up his deck, and I stop him. I'm like, sorry, you have to pay 6. And he's like, sorry. Yep. And like, I have to call a judge. The judge explains it. He loses all his like eight lands or whatever it is, and he loses the game. So yeah, there you go. Sometimes playing cards that are really fucking annoying will help you win, even though you're just terrible at Magic and can't unsideboard a deck properly. That's the end of my very convoluted, long-winded story. And then the guys who were laughing, who vaguely knew me, I saw them on the bus back from the airport back in England, and they pointed at me, because they only vaguely knew of me. I didn't have the channel at the time. Oh, I just started the channel. Okay. And they pointed at me and went, oh, you're Lead Arbiter guy. And I'm like, well, and that's like a very good, almost like flash forward to how people perceive me now, right? Right. So let's go... Oh, you're gonna have...
That's a great story.
Yeah, it is, if I get the story correct.
Ooh, that's actually pretty good.
Don't have the force. Oh, good.
As someone like, so you've obviously played a lot of Leon and Arbiter online.
Yes.
Do you think there's a large majority of players that just don't know how to like interact with it?
I think the vast majority of people that play a lot online do, by virtue of just playing a lot. But I do agree the way it works online isn't perfect, but all the fixes they've done so far have always been like completely fucked, haven't they? They're always like, oh, we're just going to make it... Because last time I did it, like, it just stopped people from being able to use the interaction of Ghost Quarter anyway. Do you remember?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. No, yeah. I named the wrong one.
I think you just get it out of reason. I'm going to Fate Seal myself.
Sure.
So I do want to draw something pretty good.
That does make sense.
I'm going to keep that. That's kind of cool.
God, that story should have been like a 5-minute story, and I feel like it was 20. In the comment section below, if you enjoyed the story, say you enjoyed it. If you didn't enjoy the story, don't tell me. I don't want to hear it. Let's go basic planes.
I like this start as well. All the same basic plane art. Great
yeah, I'm kind of gutted.
Big fan.
I'm kind of gutted.
Yeah, nice. So that GP was in Italy?
So that was the first time I went to Bologna, yeah, which is one of my favourite GPs I've ever been to. It's the whole thing. I didn't do that well. I like won my first 3 rounds, then bricked, because... I won 3, drew 1, hadn't faced Eldrazi at all, and then failed to face Eldrazi right up to the last match of day 1. So I had this deck that was playing like Legion Loyalists, the one-drop that blows up a creature when it blocks it. All this nonsense tech shit to beat Thought-Not-Seer and Reality Smasher, which that was the GP of Eldrazi Winter, the one that I'm blanking on his name, British gentleman. Oh fuck, I'll have to go look it up. Oh god, played for Axion. Fuck. Anyway, he won it with Banned Eldrazi, and Banned Eldrazi is the big thing, and then we saw like the bans and stuff, right? But I didn't play Eldrazi. Okay. I played Eldrazi once across like 7 or 8 rounds or whatever it was. And that opponent was playing a Russian Basilisk Collar and tried to lie to me about what it did. They told me it gave first strike. And I was like, pretty sure it doesn't. Pretty sure it's like... Because I like double blocked with like a Thalia and a big Thalia or something along those lines. And they were like, oh, first strike on my Thought-Not-Seer? I'm like, no, that's not how that works. That is not how that works. Oh, Suspender Visions. Okay. I feel like you're going to bounce my Revoker. Aether Vial.
Vial's good.
Wow, you just steal it. That was bad. Why did I do that? I am in a hole here.
I guess that does like kind of put the deck at 1 as well. Actually, I can't steal it right now because the Revoker.
But you
can,
I can bounce it with the Jace, steal my Vial. So actually, I think my only reasonable line is to play this.
Nice.
Go to combat and attack the deck. And this protects the Vial. So you block here, and then I sacrifice this. That goes to 1. This is not great, but I feel like I'm in a real big hole here. Like, I'm not in a good spot. For those watching at home, a Jace the Mind Sculptor plus a Dak plus a Trillion Nemesis and a ticking down Ancient Ancestral Visions does make me feel somewhat pressured. These are all very good Magic cards, and the tick up on the Jace was really good because I couldn't have done what I just did there against the Jace last turn to kill it, which is what I wanted to do. So you ticking up was definitely correct because I couldn't then just threaten through with 2 bodies.
Yeah, exactly. This is an interesting one.
So you have 3 cards in hand. Trinium's coming at me. No, I'm not blocking. I hope this isn't Anger of the Gods. Oh! The old Caracas, my true name, effectively. Oh, Sweltering Suns, okay. Interesting.
Ah, interesting, of course.
Yeah. That's why I was hoping it wasn't Anger, because that would have not given me the spirits.
Yeah, definitely. I just read that wrong. Let's drop the.
So maybe things are all coming up Kenobi.
Yeah, this is tough now. But of course, it's damage doesn't kill creatures. State-based actions do.
What do you mean? Sorry.
So all the creatures die, and then Holy Spirit gets checked.
Yes, so Hallowed Spirit on a Wrath always gives you the creatures that die with it, unless we're talking about Anger or an Exile effect, because then obviously the creatures don't hit the graveyard, and neither does the Hallowed Spirit Keeper for that matter. So yeah. Oh, and you can replay True Name, but you didn't. Interesting. Why would that be, my friend? Are you going to steal my vial with Archmage's Charm?
What?
But you can still attack anyway, so...
How were they attacking?
2 at Dak, 1 at Jace. Is this a clique? Is this a Brazen Borrower?
Not the greatest trade, but I do want to keep the Jace alive. Sorry, the Dak alive.
Okay, cool. Okay then, I guess I risk it for the biscuit now. Does this resolve? So basically I was fucked, and then when you did that, when you blew up my board and gave me all the spirits, I was like, well, I guess Ravagers isn't that bad now. Like, it's not great because you've got fair. Walkers, but yeah. I don't even know if that was strictly correct, but it's better than you slamming that fucking True Name again. So
definitely, yeah. Okay.
Even if it wasn't correct, it felt good.
Oh yeah, Ravagers the word sweet. There's a few players that have played like green-white variants, and I think Adrian, who's a Prism player, has a Naya version, which is very cool.
Oh, so you're playing like excavators and stuff as well.
Yeah, and a lot of ramp as well.
Yeah, but I think the next time we play, I might play something with that. Excavator's one of my favourite cards too. So again, I haven't really played Ravagers and Armageddon with an Excavator outside of Commander. So
okay.
You're looking for lands, are you, my friend?
What?
And keeping Jace alive. Not... Interesting.
Ravagers rough.
Yep. Good old
very cool card.
Ravagers.
And just another great reason why Australian Highlander is such a great format.
Yeah. Oh, never didn't have it. Do you have a lightning bolt?
I have the True Name. I returned to my hand.
Oh, of course you do. So I know what's in your hand. So 1 at Dak, 1 at Jace. Thank you for that.
You're welcome.
I somehow talked about it alone, then just forgot. And you didn't Jace Storm either, so I know it's like couldn't be something else. Cool. So you got a True Name in your hand, Vision's ticking down. So you will dig out of this eventually. It's a case of whether I can monopolize before you hit like runner land drops, I guess.
I'm actually going to see what's on top of you.
Oof. You leave my deck
Ooh,
alone.
I'm putting that to the bottom.
Is it like another Ravager? An Armageddon?
It's a Sanctum Prelate.
Oh, well, I can't name 3. Oh, but I can name 0. 0 would have been pretty good.
You can
here.
name 0.
Okay, let's go ahead and take up this.
So what countries have you played a tournament in for Magic?
Woof. So I've played in Italy.
Yep.
I've played several in America. Obviously, tons in Europe, in England. What other GPs in Europe I've been to? I've been to Prague twice, Bologna twice. It's easy to do cities and countries. So Prague is the Czech Republic. What else did I do European last year? Did I do France? I didn't do France in the end. It's regretful now. I'm like, I'll do that next year, and then this happened. Like, my original plan was to do an Australian and a Japanese event this year. Whoops. One day soon. I'm blanking so hard. What other European ones did I go to? Oh, Utrecht. I've been to Utrecht. So that's the Netherlands. It's the city next to Amsterdam.
Cool. Awesome.
I've played a Yu-Gi-Oh event in Paris.
Nice. Yep.
I'm trying to think. I'm sure there's other European ones that I'm just blanking on really hard. But I've been to Prague twice, Bologna twice. I'm struggling a little bit. But loads of American recently. I do enjoy. I was getting really tired of traveling. After I got back from Reno, which is, I know that's first world problems. But it was like taking its toll because you get ill. Conventions make you ill, right?
Yeah, definitely.
So I was avoiding shaking hands before Corona was even a thing for that reason.
Okay.
And I was like, I'm going to take a little break from traveling.
Yeah,
and at Reno, coronavirus being announced happening in Seattle and stuff, I was like, oh. And people are like, oh, it's because of Corona. I'm like, no, this is the thing I always do because I bump elbows or fist bump at most. Where was I going with that? So I was getting moany. I'm like, oh, we need to take a break off of it, blah, 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 blah. You have to spend a mana here because of Glow Rider to play your visions.
Oh, I will.
Yeah,
interesting. Oh, wait, can I not?
Can you not what?
Oh, I can, yeah. There we go. Cool.
You definitely can. Yeah, you pay the extra one.
Yeah.
I've seen this interaction between Thalia and Visions a whole load.
Oh.
I was meant to use my vial then. I didn't use it because I didn't have a stop on.
On 3. Oof. Not a single land in that 6.
So whereabouts have you played then? Is it mainly Australia? Have you had a chance to travel for a Magic tournament yet?
Yeah, so I made a road trip of GP.
You said?
Yeah, I did. So I didn't play Legacy. I didn't play Magic then. I played Magic. I actually started with Jewels of the Planeswalkers in 2013.
So you're like you're a digital Zoomer, but before digital Zoomers were a thing.
Yeah.
You're like a proto digital Zoomer.
Yeah.
Cool.
Which was really cool. So I've played in GP Vegas, which was really sweet. Just made like a road trip out of it with like 5 guys.
Which Vegas was that then? Was that the last one?
That was the one with Legacy, Modern, and something else.
So the one before the last one. Okay, that's fair.
D&T actually won that Legacy event.
Yes, if I remember correctly, that's right.
Yeah, and I think it was pretty big. It was like 3,500 or something close to it. It's the biggest Legacy.
Well, Legacy GPs are always big, right?
Yeah.
It's just wizards that like to pretend they're not for some fucking bizarre reason. Let's not talk about that. Yeah. That gets me riled up. That's part of my frustrations with Magic is wizards just pretending that no one wants to play the older formats when it's just not the case. But that's cool though. Like Vegas was probably my favorite GP I've ever been to in terms of just the GP experience. Like I've got some slightly more memorable events with my friends and stuff, like my home friends. But Vegas was great. I'm so sad that because Vegas this year is in 2 weeks, which obviously isn't happening. So there's always next year. So you played at Vegas.
And also GP Shizuoka in Japan.
Oh.
Which was cool. So did it like a trip with a girlfriend and then just had 3 of the like 2 weeks,
How
3 days.
How long is the flight to Japan for you in Australia then?
Pretty good. It's like 8 hours.
Okay. So it's comparable to flying to the east coast of America for us. I was wondering if it's like your Europe, because like in my head, you guys are really, really close to Japan, but actually Australia is like a mammoth mass of land, isn't it? So that's not quite the case.
Yep, exactly. It's pretty funny. Like Perth is 4.5 hours from Queensland. I'm pretty sure Perth is the most what's the word?
And that's by air, right?
Nothing around it. Yeah, that's by air.
Yeah, because like nowhere in England is more than an hour and a half by air. Well, I say England, the UK. I think you can fly to the tip of Scotland in like 2 hours. Chain lightning. Oof. That's going to make a body. That's the stack. Oh my god, I love this. Oh, I'm an idiot. Oh no, Gigantic Castle would not have saved it. Gigantic Castle would not have saved it, so we're all good. That's not a fire, nor is it an electrolyze.
Oh, wouldn't it?
No, because Gigantic... Oh, it would have done! The emotional roller coaster! I should have used Gigantic Castle. I was too busy, like, talking about Scotland and then getting an erection over this elemental being tapped. Anyway...
But yeah, Japan was fantastic.
Yeah,
really good people, really clean, easy to get around.
I'm going to go next year, like, hands down. Now that COVID's happened, it makes me appreciate, like, how lucky I am to get to travel for my job and do this sort of stuff. So there is no, like, fucking about now. Like, I need to do these things. You only live once, as they say. It's cliche, but, like, it's fucking true, right?
Yeah, definitely. I've actually, yeah. Oh, yeah, this is sadly game.
I don't know if
that Ravages was huge.
It was. When you raft, I was like, well, looks like Ravages is back on the menu, boys! So this takes you to 1 or to 0? Oh, it's -1.
This kills me, right? Yeah, this kills me.
Math is for blockers, buddy. I had to... Okay, that was a really good showing by D&T. I think that game... Yeah, the Hallowed Spirit Keeper into, like, dying into Ravages. I mean, you had walkers left, but finding lands is hard, right?
Yeah, definitely. And I think creature-based decks in general for Blue Moon can be a little bit rough.
Right.
If you're sort of spending 1 removal spell on a creature, but you're playing 2 creature spells a turn, you really have to rely on the rats to catch up.
Yeah, that makes sense. I hadn't really considered the weakness of the matchup, perhaps. How many Wraths did you play? You got the Sweltering Suns, and I guess you got the Pseudo Wrath of Fire and Electrolyze, but do you have Anger? Do you have the 4-mana one from Veros?
In the board I have Fiery Confluence and Anger of the Gods.
Cool.
And then I was going to play another one like Pyroclasm because it's cheaper, but I really want to play Vendelian Shackles. I think it's a really cool card. And you play little islands in this. You play 12.
Right, so you're a bit funny about playing another red spell.
Yeah.
Well,
I think the one issue that I have is that outside of Batterskull in the sideboard, I have no life gain, which even like a little bit of incremental life gain is just so nice against some of the aggressive decks.
But it's rough for that deck to find that, right? Like blue and red doesn't really afford you that. Like yeah, and then obviously the colourless options, like the obvious good ones. Batterskull's pretty good, sure, but it's 5 mana, and Jit is pointed.
Yep, exactly.
So I guess you could play a Dragon's Claw-esque variant, but that's not very good against the mono white deck, for example.
Yeah.
Interesting.
But, yeah, it's always interesting with creature-based decks, which is cool because you're never too sure what you're going to get, especially in a singleton format. Like, I'm not sure if you're going to start with a turn 2 Thalia or like an Arbiter or like.
Yeah, I love that. Like from the Oslander I played online with yourself and Angus, and then like the Canlander I've played online with Wheeler, and there was an event at Seattle that I played like 3 events at Seattle with it. Like the games were so wildly varied. Like, it's just I just love singleton formats, especially, and obviously this is so different to Commander as well. Whilst it can be comparable to Commander and Cube, it is also very, very different because you've got this like 1v1 like constructed element to it as well, where you can understand meta games and matchups and stuff. It's just really fun. I love it.
Yeah, exactly. And I think for a format that is taken pretty competitively by at least like the Australian community, it's really nice when you finish a match and instead of the talk being like, oh, I missed that second land drop, or oh, you drew that then. It's like, oh, you're playing these points? What are you playing? Like, oh, I'm playing these. And it's like, oh, you're playing like Blue Moon. It's like, yeah, but I'm actually playing these cards, which don't usually see play. Or,
and also, like, discussing random cards. Not random cards, but like not very commonly seen cards. Like, one of my opponents in Seattle in the Canada event was playing this cool counters aggressive Jund deck, and they're playing all the Unleash cards from... were basically limited staples back in RTR block, right? But because he was playing them alongside all these doubling effects and proliferate effects in the green and stuff, and he absolutely steamrolled me. It sounds like I'm describing a casual deck, but I'm not. It was that he had found, a critical mass of this card that were role fillers to be a really cool variant deck, and it took me by surprise and wrecked me. So I love that sort of stuff. Top tips for people who want to play Highlander is don't put 2 Kitchen Finks in your deck. I know people are going to make jokes about hybrid mana. where I'm like, I can't play in Commander, so I have to play 2 here to make up for it, I guess. Thank you for coming on, Dukes. Do you want to do some plug-in? What are your pluggables? Where can people find you? Where's your main content and that sort of thing?
Yeah, I guess because this will be on YouTube, I am on YouTube at YouTube/Dukes on Twitch. I have all my streams there from twitch.tv/Dukes on Twitch, where I stream on Thursday nights at 7:30 p.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time, and then usually on Sunday mornings at around 10:30 a.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time. And then I also have my recorded videos that I do and just do with commentary and upload them to my YouTube channel. If you're on Twitter, you can find me at Twitter/Dukes on Twitch. You can also find me on the greensunzenith.com. And then just in the Maverick Discord, which I'm just under user Dukes.
Sick.
But that's really
Sick.
it. Twitch, Twitter, YouTube,
all those links
website.
will be in the description below. So if you are looking to find them very easily, just scroll down and click those links. Whilst you're down there, if you could hit the like button and if you could smash that bell button, I actually have them attached to myself, to my genitals via electric stimulus. So in doing so, you will be stimulating me directly. If you haven't subscribed already, because every one of my videos, I get to see this, around 60% of the viewers aren't subscribed. So come on, you pricks, subscribe. I need to get to 100k so I get a fucking plaque.
Nice.
That plaque means nothing, but it does help me feel like a real content creator. Because I'm not a partner on Twitch, so that makes me not a real content creator in their eyes. Thank you for watching. I hope you've enjoyed the video. Hit us with a comment down below. Mock me for my fucking incessant cheating. Oh my god, draw hands or mock spells all the time. And we'll see you all soon. Ta-ta for now.